Hi guys, welcome back to Joe's RC Corner, and today we're going to continue on the Giles build by making up some battery packs for the receiver and the ignition. Stay tuned and I'll show you how we did it. Okay guys, welcome to Joe's RC Corner, and today we're going to be working on making the battery packs for both my receiver and for the ignition module on the Giles 202. So as you can see here, I have two 18650s. I have two sets of them. And the 18650s we're going to be using these. They're lithium-ion battery packs. This one is recycled from something else. That's why there's a little bit of some torn heat shrink on there. These are the Samsung. These are LGs, but essentially they're both roughly about the same voltages. So nominal voltage, once they're fully charged, actually is 4.2 volts per cell. All right, and we're going to be timesing that by 2, which should give us the 8.4 volts fully charged, which is perfect for the aircraft that we're going to be operating. So it should not be an issue. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to wire this up because they're going to be plugged into receivers. I have here receiver wire. I'll leave the link in the description, but it's 32 feet, 22 gauge. Which is more than enough for the voltage and the amperage that's going to be pulled for the receiver and the servos and so on. So not an issue there. Also have a pack of these balance leads, because on lithium battery packs you do want to balance the cells. So we have these wires here, and these are silicone coated insulated wire. And it's got the JST plug on one side that will plug into the balance port of my charger, so I can make sure that the cells stay balanced during all the charges and discharges. Now, a few other things that I did get along the way here for it is have this box here of these are individual cell heat shrink tubing. I'm not going to be using on these right now because this one set is a brand new set. This one, like I said, has been used before, but I don't believe I'm going to go ahead and pull any of this heat shrink off of this because it's still in decent shape, and I'm going to be covering those with the heat shrink right here, which is going to go over the whole cell, the whole pack. So we got that off to the side there as well. To put the ends on, I bought this pack of JR style plugs for the batteries and the crimp lines for it as well. So we're going to use those to create these leads. So first things first, I got to get my soldering iron heated up, and we're going to go ahead and show you how we're going to wire this up. So to do the balance lead, so one end is going to be the positive and negative. So we're going to go ahead and connect one end. I'll set that one aside. We'll work with this one here. So we're going to be basically connecting this end to this end. So it'll be the negative to the positive, and that'll connect these in series. And then on this end, you have your positive lead and your negative lead coming off of here. And that's going to be going to the load. Okay. Now, for the balance lead, it's going to be a little bit different because we have the positive, so we're going to have this lead here. So we're going to say this lead will go to the same end here. So that'll go to the positive output. The second lead coming off of there will be coming off the negative lead. And this will come down to the bottom and connect to here. And this would be the positive and negative of between the two batteries. And that's how the balance lead works. So to draw that out, you'll have, flip this over, you have battery 1, battery 2, okay? These two ends will be connected, so it'll be the positive, negative, and that will come off here, and then you have the negative and the positive just like this. So you have your negative, your positive, and then your between the two. So your positive, negative. And that's your 3 line right there. Okay? So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We'll put that off to the side. Okay, so we're going to use this battery. I was able to get the solder on there a little bit better. So what you want to do is you want to double check that your voltage on each cell is roughly the same. So I got my multimeter here, and I'm going to go ahead and check each cell here. So you have, check this one first. And that's showing 3.68. We'll flip it over. And this is going to show negative, but it's basically the same. 3.74. So close enough. So we'll be able to go ahead and solder these two together. So I already got some solder blobs on this one. We're going to connect those two ends with this little jumper here. Clean off that. We're going to solder to the negative side first. Just like that. And then to the positive side. Make sure I'm not leaning on anything that's conductive. We're going to heat that up, and there we go. So now, if I go down to this end of the battery, I should be reading the double voltage. So we'll bring this back over here so you can see. And now that those two are connected, we should have 7.4 volts. So those are successfully connected as one battery now. Okay? So that's perfect. We'll just make sure that the wire there has enough space there. So now when we're going to do this end, I'm going to add a little bit of solder to these ends now. I'm going to go ahead and use this to kind of hold it standing up here a little bit. Okay, get my soldering iron, and we're going to grab some solder, and we'll do the same thing we did on the other side. Got to get the, okay, there we go, and on this side. Okay, perfect. All right, so now that we have the solder on this end, I'm going to take my power lead, and before I go ahead and start connecting these, I want I want to have my connection already on there. So we're going to go ahead and open this up here. Go ahead and grab the ends that I need, which should be these. So this will be the female end. Let's find the end of this whole mess here. Should be here. I'm going to need 2 to start with. So snap that off. And I want to do these first because I want these protected in the connection before I wire it to the battery. And then you take the your tool to crimp these on place. So you have your crimping tool here. And this is a 22 gauge wire. So we're going to be using the 22 to 20 gauge crimp section here. We get the and as you can see, it'll focus. That's a nicely crimped connector there. So we'll do that one more time. There we go. Nicely crimped. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take these, and they go into one of these ends here. And we're going to match these ends. So if you just lay it about the same way, positive will go on this side, like so, and just push it in until it snaps. And then you know you're in all the way. What's going on? Okay, so after all that, now we have the wire twisted, and we have the connections on the plug here. Okay, so that's all set, ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and solder that on to the end of the battery. So first get them the same length. And we'll open that up here to the sides. Pull off the heat shrink. Strip that down. We'll go ahead and twist. Get your helping hands over here, because now you're going to want to tin these before you solder them onto the battery. So we'll go ahead and get those tinned. Like so. Okay, and now that they're tinned, we'll set that aside. We're going to go ahead and solder them onto this end. I'm going to use my helping hands to hold my battery upward. And now we will connect the red to the positive lead, just like so. And then the negative to the negative lead. Just like so. Okay. Now we have the lead to get the power out. Now we're going to go ahead and work on getting the balance lead set up. So we'll grab the balance lead. And remember, you got the two positive. You got the two outside ones that'll go to the top, and this will go to the bottom. It doesn't matter whether it's on the positive or the negative side. It works the same. But we want to get the right length. So I want it about this long. So we'll take the outside two, and I'm going to cut those about right here. Like that. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to strip. We're going to twist. And then we're going to tin these two ends. Get the solder again. And we'll heat those up and go ahead and tin those. Okay. And then we're going to take the other end. We're going to kind of get a rough idea of how far we need it, about right here. We're going to cut that now, about right there. And we're going to strip that one, twist it, and then again tin that. Same as the other end. Okay. Now I'm going to do the bottom first because it's just a little bit easier. So we'll hold that in place like this. And I'm just going to connect it to the negative end here. Okay, run that up along the end here. We'll get the power lead out of the way here because we don't want to tangle anything. And now negative and positive speaks for themselves. So you got your negative lead will go to the negative side of the battery. Positive lead will go to the positive side of the battery. Let's get these resoldered properly here. And that is a terrible solder job because of the temperatures out here. It is not wanting to solder properly. Okay. Now this is going to be my ignition battery, so I'm not extremely concerned with it. But now we want to double check everything, so we're going to grab my voltmeter again here. Slide all this out of the way. Grab the voltmeter here so it's in the camera view here. We'll slide over. And we're going to double check all the leads here to make sure that everything is correct. So first we're going to take the balance lead, and basically what you should see is on the first one's positive and the second one's negative. Should show 745. Check. If you only do 1, 3, 7, and again if you do 1, 3, 6. Okay, so those are the good. So the balance lead is connected properly. We're going to check this end. This should be putting out the 7.4. And correct. Okay, so that is done. That is correct. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to now get the wires up towards the top. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some electrical tape and I'm going to wrap it around the top and the bottom because the seat shrink that I have does not cover the tops. But we want to make sure that those are protected from being shorted out at any other time. So, let me see here. I know I have some electrical tape here somewhere. So I'm going to use this electrical tape just to insulate the tips here. So you can grab some of this electrical tape here. It's a brand new one, so bear with me here. And I'm going to go right over the top like this. Go all the way around. We're going to insulate the bottom. I'm just going to do 2 wraps on here just to give it a little bit of insulation. Just like so. I'm going to snip that. Okay. Okay, so now the top and the bottom are insulated. I do want to take this lead here, and I want to keep this down there, so that would give it a little bit of strain relief right here. So we're just going to do this at the area where I want the strain relief on that plug. And now this one's going to be my ignition. So I'd rather lose the engine if there was an issue with these batteries than lose anything else. Now, we're going to go ahead and take some of the seat shrink, and I'm going to grab my scissors to cut this because I want to make sure I cut this straight. So I'm going to first cut this little bit off here just to make sure it's a straight top. Okay, and I'm going to lay the battery on top. And then we're going to go ahead and cut that to where I have just a little bit on both sides. Like that. And then you're going to take your heat gun. Open this up. Slide the battery into it like this. And here we go, guys. A new lithium-ion battery pack with the receiver and balance leads attached to it, ready to go on the aircraft. So this would be my ignition battery, and I'm going to go ahead and label that. Ignition. All right, so there we go. Ignition battery is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and build this receiver pack, which is out of brand new battery packs here. So we're going to go ahead and do this one too, and then we'll be done. So I'm going to do this one off camera, and I'll show you the two batteries done when I come back. All right, guys, so there you go. I got two battery packs, lithium-ion now. One of them is for the receiver. These are the newer of the batteries. And one of them is going to be used for the ignition. So there are the batteries for the Giles 202. Brand new packs, ready to go. And we'll be able to get these charged up, balanced. And now with the balance leads on there, we'll be able to maintain the balance on them. And then we have the regular receiver ports on style plugs on here that are going to be used to connect to the switches and then to the loads, respectively. And I believe both of them are about 3,500 milliamp hours. So one battery is going to give me more than enough power for an entire flight. Probably even more than that, including weekend, the multiple flights throughout the night, throughout the week. So multiple weeks, over multiple weeks, sorry. Like I said, the receiver battery, ignition battery, this is overkill for the ignition, that's for sure. But might as well have extra power and never have to worry about it. Receiver, same thing, 3,500 milliamp hour, lithium ion, should last a long time, and should be good to go. So, all right, guys, so that's all I have for today. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Next week we'll start, next video, we'll be starting building the wing of the Giles and figuring out how we're going to put the wing tube in it. And so stay tuned, and see you guys next time. Keep building, keep flying.